and 2, and a 1. Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast, SFW. We are back again after a couple weeks of watching the wrestling, and sports entertainment out in the world.
Yeah, well, we do. Sometimes you have to do that. You gotta sit back and watch the fires go out.
Yeah, and a lot of fires are going out.
Oh, yeah.
First thing I want to talk about is that... Well, actually, I have a few things I want to talk about.
Alright, go for it, man.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Well, let's start off with some plugs about the channel. Because people hear the stuff at the beginning and not at the end.
Yeah, naturally.
So, first things first. I have an ongoing series, Wyatt to the Future. It's the story of Husky Harris going back in time to stop John Cena and the C Nation from destroying professional wrestling.
Great Scott!
It is a season mode of SmackDown's Shut Your Mouth. Currently going on. We're at 3 parts.
Well, that is interesting. I would take a look at that if I were anybody else but myself.
Currently, we have Husky Harris winning the Hardcore Championship.
Woo! That won't be dated.
Feuding with time-sensitive Hardcore Holly.
Another dated reference.
And getting involved with the Vince McMahon, Ric Flair GM feud. And siding with Vince. Yeah. And a lot of Ric Flair impersonations.
A lot of Ric Flair impersonations and a lot of him going nuts.
Yeah. It's a good thing. You can watch it on the channel or you can watch it on YouTube. It's under Snake in a Box / that's the YouTube thing. Mm-hmm. All one word. Snake in a Box.
Make sure that you tune in because it is funny.
It is
because funny. It is funny, and we try to do our best in that. Well, he does his best. I just mope around and make smart ass comments.
Yeah. All right. Other things I want to talk about. Let's talk about stocks. Yeah.
Oh god.
So.
Oh god, what's happening? No.
So, Vince McMahon lost a lot of money. Recently because the stock price plummeted after re-signing with NBC Universal for their TV deal. Seeing how NASCAR got a lot more money than, they got the previous sign, Vince goes, well, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to triple the money.
Wait, what? Okay, so here he's asking for triple the price for his thing.
Yes, he's asking for 3 times the amount to view Raw, SmackDown, and I don't know, other things too. So
Vince is nuts. Vince, you're not being smart here.
Yeah.
NASCAR, you can't get anywhere else in this. Or on SmackDown, you have made viable different options. One you've promoted regularly on your program, and that just seems like shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. And so, okay, so he ended up he did get a large payoff on the deal. He got almost double the amount, which is still really good, but it's not up to the investors' Yes, yeah. Exactly. Yes, what they were thinking. So
the greedy bastards.
Yeah, that and also the fact that the WWE Network is only at 700,000 subscribers at this point. They need 1 million to break even and 2.5 to completely
turn a profit.
Well, not only that, but to do away with pay-per-views altogether.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while. So the stock price went up from $28 or something like that down to $11.
Ooh.
Vince McMahon
That's-
lost $350 million.
Oh, God.
Not only that, but now WWE is being investigated by other firms for possible wrongdoing with stock prices.
Ooh, God. Oh. Man, when you make Nintendo look like they just lost a little pocket change, you know you fucked up.
Oh, but at least you're not TNA. Give
Well-
you that. TNA, I just read this today.
Well, it's TNA. Do you need any other explanation?
Okay. TNA recently had a house show in Mississippi. Or is it Missouri? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And the tickets for it were 200 to 300 people attending.
200 to 300 people, and how big was the venue?
I don't think it said.
I'd imagine it would have been a fair-sized venue, maybe something that fits around 1,000 people.
I mean, I don't expect them to like fill a bingo hall, but maybe
Yeah.
something bigger than that.
Nah, actually, I expect them to fill a bingo hall. That seems about right for them.
Yeah, okay. It was in Mississippi. I have other tidbits. So, you know TNA's newest champion, Eric Young.
Yeah,
He's not doing very good when it comes to ratings.
obviously.
So, here's the quarterly ratings from Impact from last
Okay.
week.
Give it to me straight.
Okay.
Doc, how is it?
1.03 starts out.
0.03.
0.96, 0.92, 0.98. That's the first hour. Then it goes 0.81, 0.76, 0.72, and then 0.69.
We all...
And
You're
it's
starting to see a problem, aren't you?
yeah, and Eric Young was in the main event.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just yeesh.
Also, the fact that they don't have any more tour dates for their Universal Studio Impact Zone. Also, the fact that they still don't have a TV deal with Spike.
They gave up that deal?
It has not been re-signed yet. At this point, I don't think they will.
No. If Spike is smart, they would not re-sign that.
So, yeah. Also, the fact that other wrestlers are starting to jump ship to ROH and to Jeff Jarrett's new Guardian Force GF whatever wrestling.
Honestly, if Spike was smart, and I know they should be on this one, they should approach Ring of Honor on this one as a good measuring point against the WWE, because anybody who watches wrestling knows that Ring of Honor is that good measuring point of this is a moderately good show. This isn't as big as WWE, but it still knows what it does. Right.
So, okay. Other news. Let's talk about other news. More WWE stuff.
Okay, what else is going on in the world of WWE?
Daniel Bryan's neck surgery.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he went into neck surgery this last week to uncompress some spinal stuff. I'm not a doctor.
I think it's safe to say that he messed up his neck.
Yeah, and this is not the kind of herniated discs that we've come that's commonplace.
That sort of injury.
Yeah, this is not an Edge neck surgery. This is not a Benoit neck surgery.
It's not a big massive oh my god, he needs to have this. He needs to stop now, or else he's gonna fucking die from it.
Yeah, his neck was not fused.
Yeah.
Normal recovery time is 2 to 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking wrestlers here, so we're talking 2 to 3 weeks.
I'd say about a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would be about right for him.
Yeah, and we'll get into that during Raw, which is up next.
All right, what's going on with Raw?
Okay, so the show starts with Bray Wyatt as he interrupts the WWE signature at the start of the show.
Okay.
And he's in, and this is, by the way, in London, England.
Oh, the London show.
So this is pre-taped.
Mm-hmm.
And it's completely dark around. You know, the audience is all dark, and there's a bunch of cell phones in the background.
Obviously.
Yeah. And he talks about dreams and how they're disappointing and all that stuff, because when you wake up, that's just reality. All that stuff. He rants about a school teacher that he once had who didn't view his potential correctly. And called him evil. All that stuff. And he admits that he is evil, but he's a necessary evil. And he goes, all of my payback. All my people will have their payback. Or something like that. And it's very, it's very powerful to see this. I don't know. It makes you feel.
It gets the fizz in you?
Yes, it gets the fizz.
As I love to steal that line from Mark the Engineer. Yeah, you get the fizz of pretty much you're feeling good about this, and you want to see more of this. This is a good sign, especially with talent like Bray Wyatt. If he's selling this like he is, he's selling it like it was going out of style. He's selling ice to Eskimos, if it were.
Yeah. But, this happy moment has to be interrupted. Because we have John Cena. He interrupts and then Pearl Harbors. He sneak attacks the guys. And he gets instantly booed for it. Because this is the type of sneak attack where his music goes off at the front and then he gets him bumped from behind.
Of course. Normally that's a trick that a heel would pull.
Yeah, but John Cena's doing it. And the crowd continues to sing his theme song, John Cena Sucks, John Cena Sucks. Anyway, sneak attack, attitude adjustment. Cena's like, oh yeah, I got you this time.
6. And you can tell that this is a audience that knows wrestling, I'm guessing, because they're booing Cena for this.
Yes, they are booing John Cena. And I was going to say something else too. Oh yeah, the match at Payback is going to be Last Man Standing, and we all know John Cena's record for Last Man Standing matches.
Yeah.
The only way that John Cena loses a Last Man Standing match is if Big Show shows up and tosses him into a searchlight.
And rarely does that happen, though it does occur every new moon.
Yes, however, there was one time that Ryback sent him through an LED light, and it turned into a no contest.
Interesting how things turn out, don't you think?
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, next after commercial break, we have Cesaro and Paul Heyman in the ring.
Let me guess. He keeps on going about how Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker.
He did that, and the crowd started to join in with him. He goes, my client, Brock, and then the crowd goes, Lesnar.
Yeah, I think that's a sign right there that the gimmick is dead. Honestly, the gimmick had no legs to begin with because it was such a cheap heat.
Yeah, and then he goes, okay, well, this is not... Well, you're supposed to be the audience. We're the stars. And then he gets on his back and he says, look at me, who am I? And then he sits up and it's like, I can sit up, unlike The Undertaker, who got beat by Brock Lesnar.
He's trying his hardest. Oh, God bless you, Paul Heyman. You're trying to get that heat, but it's not But this is the type of audience that doesn't buy into that sort of stuff.
He says, "Oh, here's the King of Swing." Crowd chants, "King of Swing."
Mm-hmm.
And we have our first match. We have Cesaro versus Sheamus.
Ooh, nice.
And Sheamus is, of course, U.S. champ at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to try to turn him heel, except, oh wait, UK tour. Damn it.
Yeah. You can't turn him heel right now. Turn him heel a little bit later once we get back into the States. I mean, it works so well with Rusev.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. So we have Cesaro pulled off his deadlift superplex off of Sheamus, who was like twice as big as the other people who he's done it to.
Yeah, Sheamus is a pretty big guy, I'll admit that.
Heyman does the distraction thing by throwing his jacket into the ring. Sheamus going, "Yeah, well, I'm going to take that jacket." And then Cesaro looks like he's going to do like a schoolboy, but no, he does a German suplex pin instead.
Switching it up. I see what you do, Cesaro. I approve.
For the 1, 2, 3. Let's see. And then Sheamus goes, "Oh, you guys, you got me there." And sticks out his hand for a handshake. Cesaro goes, "Okay, I'm going to like, oh no, I'm not going to do that." Does the Ric Flair thing. And the crowd eats it up. And
of course Sheamus they will.
"Oh, what am I going to do with you?"
Just, is it that head shaking like, "Oh, you guys"?
Yeah, it was like that. So next up, we get introduced to the German announce table. German announce team. Because they're German.
Out of curiosity, is it East Germany?
No, it's just regular
I was
Germany.
like, if we're going Cold War as it is, why not bring in East Germany as well? How many people will get that reference?
I don't know. Maybe they did bring in an East German guy for, the heel color commentator.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably it.
That would be hilarious. Okay, so match number 2, we have a Beat the Clock challenge. This is for the Intercontinental #1 contendership. We have Big E versus Ryback. 2 big guys, and then you got the big guy, beating each other up. But I guess. Anyways, Big E gets beat down a lot, but pulls out the victory in 5:02.
Nice.
Next up, we have... It's going to be a match, but spoilers, it's not. We have R-Truth, and he high steps with the Funkadactyls.
Because they need this. Because they need screen time.
Yeah.
And plus, I love staring at Naomi's ass.
And then he's going to take on Fandango with Layla. And
of course, it's not a match. It's a match with Fandango.
Yeah, except that, holy crap, here comes Summer Rae. She's back from filming a stupid Marine movie with The Miz.
I know why they keep on making those movies. Those movies must do bang buck for the studio. Also, it gives them a reason to hold that lease on that studio property, probably.
Yeah, it's like, hey, these movies don't cost all that much, and they make also not that much.
It's the Roger Corman. It's the Roger Corman philosophy. If you know who that is, you are a smarter guy than I am.
But damn it, we're going to make all the money back by having Spike TV play it.
Naturally.
Just terrible all around. So Summer Rae plants a big old smoocher on Fandango and attacks Layla. Because Fandango and Layla have been open mouth kissing pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, that sort of. I'm half tempted to just call it a cat fight because that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But even that, But even then, it's one of the most boring cat fights out there.
Michael Cole
'Cause,
goes
you know-
crazy about the public affection, and then JBL goes, "Oh yeah, well you're just old." He calls him something else. I forgot what it was. I didn't write it down, but basically called him a geezer. No.
Even though I'm pretty sure Michael was younger than JBL.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, next up, we have Stephanie McMahon. She comes out to Daniel Bryan's music because she's going to give an address of the state of the WWE title. So, once again, Bryan had surgery. He's going to be out for a while. And that's when the old championship rule kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you don't defend the title once every 30 days, you lose the title. You get stripped.
Okay.
This has been a plot point for pretty much every single injured champion.
So pretty much it's there to just put a ticking time bomb, if it were.
Yeah.
And like you said, the recovery period of the surgery that he's going through is 2 months. So I get what they're going with. They're trying to make Stephanie's still the bad guy, trying to make her look the bad guy, and they're literally putting a time clock on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so she says that she's not going to strip the title from Daniel Bryan, but she's going to demand him to surrender the title next week on Raw.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Next up, we have Heath Slater as 3-man band dress up in their Union Jacks.
Of course.
As the Union Jacks. As he faces Rusev. And Lana decides to ridicule England a lot more than she usually does.
Because evil Russian!
And proceeds to put a Russian flag over the House of Parliament.
This is something right out of a Call of Duty game. Don't tell me I'm lying on that one either.
Those WWE photoshoppers are hard at work.
Next thing you'll tell me, they're going to be putting baby heads of Wade Bryant of the Wyatt family on the screen. Oh wait.
Yeah. Oh wait. So poor Heath Slater. He gets crushed. No surprise, because he only won one match this entire year.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta be the jobber.
Mm-hmm. So moving on, we have RVD versus Alberto Del Rio in a Beat the Clock match. From what
We're just gimmicking on this clock thing, aren't we? Do we have a watch guy on hand? Like, is a clockmaker being one of the guys that is writing the stories now, or is this writer's on a pole match?
Yeah, we're gonna have a Rolex on a pole match.
Oh, that would be awesome to see. The ending would be like the ending of Die Hard.
Alright, so I didn't pay much attention to this match, but what I did pay attention was RVD gives thunder but not rolling.
Okay.
He jumps over the guy and then he does his senton thing.
He does everything like he does in every match he rolls.
Yeah. And it looks like he was going to do it the first time because that was the second time. The first time, he did a leg drop and Michael Cole and JBL were stunned. It's like, wait, what? That's not how the move goes. It's supposed to flip. And he did a leg drop.
He just did it to spite you guys. That's the reason.
Yeah. So, anyways, RVD naturally wins at 4:15.
Ooh, cutting it close, aren't we?
Yes. So then we have a John Cena interview, and he says that he's going to bring the Usos with him to the match because he's going to face Eric Rowan in a match So he's going to bring backup. And then he starts beating his chest, and they also start beating their chests. And they all beat their chests as they walk off screen.
One wonders how far we have come from monkeys.
Speaking of which, 5th match of the night. This is the Seth Rollins versus Batista match. Now at Payback, they're going to have a 6-man elimination, no-holds-barred match, which basically means no rules. So I don't know how they're going to enforce people being sent to the locker room.
Honor system?
Right.
That's as good as a guess as I got.
Right. So in this match, there's also added stipulations where Evolution and the Shield are banned from ringside, and only official people are supposed to be at ringside.
Mm-hmm.
So Triple H comes out. He goes, okay, well, I'm naming myself the special guest ring announcer. And we're also going to have a special guest timekeeper. And it's going to be Randy Orton.
Randy Orton! Man, I am really good at my job, if I can just predict this.
Yeah.
That, or you guys are so predictable, I can predict this.
Well, it seems like Seth Rollins also predicted this. He gets on the microphone and say, oh yeah? Well, I have special guest commentators for the match, too. Because they're official, too.
I can do that as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, wait, Rollins has that kind of power?
Yeah, that's the one. I didn't want to dwell on that because if you think about that, your mind will explode.
Well,
I didn't want to dwell on that.
They do explain it this time. You see, during the match, I think it was Ambrose. He goes, yeah, well, we did get permission. You can talk to Maddox in the trainer's room. So basically, they beat up Maddox just so they can be commentators and be official.
Okay. Why doesn't Triple H just revoke it then?
Because he's busy being a ring announcer. Oh. I didn't pay much attention to this match.
You know, I miss the days of CM Punk just running around the ring and doing his Curly Howard impression, asking if he gets double the pay.
I get to ring the bell?
You ring the bell? Do I get your jacket as well? Done! God, sometimes you gotta love CM Punk.
So, anyways, this match is naturally going to go to a DQ.
Obviously.
As everyone starts fighting, they corner Batista. Batista's going to be triple power. Oh, wait, no, he's not. He slips through because distraction, Triple H, blah, 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 blah. Evolution
blah, blah,
runs.
Blah, blah. Bad guys do bad guys stuff. Heroes do the good guys stuff.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I don't know anymore. I think we've just given up caring at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we have Alicia Fox versus Paige. Paige is obviously from England.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Alicia Fox has a new gimmick.
Besides her furry gimmick?
No, she dropped the furry gimmick. She is now going crazy after the match. Now, last week, she had a match on Raw, and she lost the match to Paige, so she went nuts, started slamming the announce table, opened up a Monster energy drink or something like that, and swung it all around, took JBL's hat with it. She did the same thing on Main Event.
Feminism?
So
I question?
So Alicia Fox is now, I wouldn't say crazy, I just want to say tempered.
Pissy is more the word to use.
Sure.
She's being pissy.
Okay, so anyways, Paige does her, Paige is the aggressor for the first part of the match for the first time since coming to the main roster.
Well, it's a staple of being a good guy. You get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah, and then she gets kicked out of all over the place. Alicia Fox is a throwing sidewalk slam into the second turnbuckle or something like that. I don't know. And then she picks up the win. She goes crazy again. And this time, she takes Jerry Lawler's crown, gets on the announce table, and declares herself Queen of the World. Walks over to the barrier on the camera side.
Yeah.
Takes someone's drink and splashes it all over her chest. Not making this up.
Once again, I say, feminism?
Jerry Lawler is upset.
To
Jerry Lawler's upset that she took the crown. Walked away with it.
That's my only gimmick. You know, that's my item. That's my gimmick. I'm the king. You can't just take the king from the crown from the king. Actually, that would have worked either way. You can't take the king from the crown. You can't take the crown from the king.
Right. Okay. So that was interesting.
I think more disturbing is more the word I would use, but interesting. Let's go with that.
Okay, we have a Wyatt promo backstage, and they go that John Cena can bring the Usos if he wants. It doesn't matter because they're going to fall like dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the most coherent promo they've had thus far.
Yeah.
Next up, we have another Beat the Clock match. Mark Henry versus Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to do the last second pinfall thing. Dolph Ziggler hits the zigzag, but couldn't make it to Mark Henry in time, so he does not beat the clock. So RVD is now number one contender to Bad News Barrett's thing.
I'd say I'm sad, but I don't. Actually, who are our options out of all of this? Because none of this seems right, in my opinion. For the whole Intercontinental Championship, who did we get out of all this?
Well, we had RVD, we had Alberto Del Rio, we had Dolph Ziggler, Mark Henry, and Ryback, and Big E.
I would have gone with Alberto Del Rio. The dude needs a push.
Right. However, then you'll run into the heel match, and nobody wants to see that.
Why make...
Generally.
I mean, logic... Actually, I don't know about the rest of you, but from what I've seen, Bad News Barrett has been getting good hype out of just being a bad guy and saying his catchphrase. Why not make him good?
Well...
And just...
Well, you see... RVD decides to come out to the entrance on the stage. Say, oh yeah, I'm number one contender. Just to get bullhammered in the back of the head. And somehow RVD continues to sell that by landing on his head.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say right now, he just got injured and has now a concussion.
And then, because Bad News Barrett, he comes out and he goes, well... It looks like you're the new number one contender, but I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Excellent.
And he goes off with the whole, you're going to lose to me at Payback. And also he puts over the English crowd and England altogether. Very... UK nationalistic promo that everyone eats up.
We're just all about the evil foreigners now, aren't we?
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have Adam Rose in an in-ring interview.
Mm-hmm.
And he has his crowd of people.
Yes.
And
do we have a Slender Man spotting?
No, we don't. But we do have the
God
bunny.
Damn it!
We have the bunny, we have the burger guy, we have a chick in green hair dressed up in a latex Captain America suit.
I have no problem with any of that sentence. Exactly. You can tell I'm a nerd!
And a bunch of other people. So, this is basically the explanation of the gimmick. So, Renee Young's there, and he goes, what does it mean to be a rosebud? And then Adam Rose is like, well, it means you don't be a lemon. You be a rosebud.
Okay, I can see where he's going with that gimmick. You know, for those who don't know, lemon is a term for cars, actually. You know, a car that's a lemon is a bad car. You know, you got sold a lemon means you got sold a shitty car. Usually it refers also like a bad deal on things, but I'm guessing he's using it in the gimmick of it's just, no, lemons are bad. Which,
don't be
yeah,
sour.
No. Yeah, and that too. I'm going with the car thing because I have car on mine.
It's party time all the time, and then out comes Zeb Coulter. Zeb Coulter comes out. He goes, you embarrassed me. A couple weeks ago, you embarrassed me last week. And you gotta stop with all this partying because I don't know how you came over to this country, but if you stay in this country, you're gonna be really...
I'm pretty sure he's by the accent, I'm guessing the dude is English, so I think he has...
Yeah. So...
It's like, I don't mind... Actually, I do mind the racist overtone because, well, it's just a small... It's a really cheap gimmick, in my opinion, but... If you're gonna do your facts, make sure you know your facts, so I can't poke holes in it.
Yep. So basically, Zeb challenges Adam Rose to a match, but that doesn't happen because Swagger decides to sneak attack.
You know, be the big brute.
Yeah, be the big brute. And then Rose gets knocked out, and then he comes back, and then he jumps on Swagger, and then he punches him, and then bad guys escape, and then it's party time again! And a couple other notes from this segment is that the crowd did sing along with Adam Rose's theme, but when Zeb Coulter came out, they started to do his theme, and when they were both in the ring, it was half Coulter's, half Rose's theme together.
Wow, thinking about how that is a macabre sound right there.
Yeah.
That is just not pleasant to the ears.
Okay, main event time.
Okay, what's the main event?
John Cena versus Luke Harper.
Okay.
Right. And the crowd is still going with the John Cena Sucks theme song and also going into Adam Rose's theme song too throughout the entire match. Interesting notes. Luke Harper does a Hurricanrana.
Pretty impressive for a big guy.
Very impressive. Let's see. Harper does the torture rack neck breaker, which is really nice. John Cena also pulls off a Hurricanrana, but this one was really okay.
It was his patented Hurricanrana.
Yeah, his patented Hurricanrana, and it was like twice as. It was a lot better than his last one 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was better than his CM Punk one. He's been improving on that degree.
Yeah. I think Harper decided to duck a little bit so Cena wouldn't have to jump as high.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Let's see. The Usos interfere and sort of to like counter interfere.
Okay.
But then Wyatt gets into the ring, and while the Usos run into Wyatt, he catches one of them, Sister Abigail. The other one runs into him too, Sister Abigail. In one motion. I don't know how he does it.
That's an impressive feat of magic.
And then Rowan runs over John Cena. So we have an actual disqualification. A little beatdown, Sister Abigail on Cena. They drag Cena to the ramp. I think Rowan does slam or something onto the ramp. they pull him more over to the stage area, do his Sister Abigail on the stage. Bray Wyatt sings, he's got the whole world in his hands, and Harper does the 10 count.
Okay. Yeah, that all sounds interesting. I have no idea what you said because my mom is interrupting me! Sorry about that.
Okay.
What was that?
Okay, so Sister Abigail on the stage. Wyatt sings, he's got the whole world.
Okay, he's
Two
the
verses.
whole world thing. Naturally.
And Rowan does the 10 count.
Naturally.
Yes. Because it's going to be last man standing, 10 count.
Okay.
I know a lot about last man standing matches, especially on SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, where the match was supposed to be a street fight, but both Hogan and Stone Cold decided to take it to a small corner of the stage, get stuck there, and not pull anyone to the ring.
Nice.
So Hogan's just spinning around, walking around the Stone Cold. Stone Cold's flat out. Okay, I start counting because I'm tired of this. It's not going to stop. And even that was hard. Totally screwed over Stone Cold.
Naturally, you did. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, anyways. So,
last
man standing match.
This episode of Raw, how was it?
It was okay. I mean, I don't put much faith into pre-taped Raws.
I have a little bit of faith, but that's just in the fact that they won't catch any swearing.
Well, then, that and also the fact that I heard reports that a lot of the matches and segments were heavily edited.
Well, honestly, that comes with the territory. Just to tell people about my background, I come from a video background. I know pretty much everything they're doing in the background of what they're doing in those events. And I know that
you give those producers 6 hours to edit.
Mm-hmm.
And
that out of 5 different camera angles.
Yeah. And it's like, okay. It's like SmackDown, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, anyways, it was okay, they got to do what they needed to do.
They're just
Bray Wyatt.
It's just a progression story.
Yeah. The amount of cell phone lights from the arena was breathtaking, more than it was the previous week. It'll be interesting to see if there's more.
I'd imagine that's annoying after a while.
Also, Payback is in Chicago.
That's fun.
So, and other interesting news is that CM Punk tweeted something. He no more silence on the Twitter. It was hockey related, but it was something.
Well, the dude's been... At this point, I think it's probably that he just needed time off. Yeah. Needed to get away from everything. And if he's coming back, that's awesome. And to be quite honest, with Daniel Bryan out, they need CM Punk badly.
Yeah. Nobody's trashing CM Punk now. And it started happening, a couple weeks ago, where they actually mentioned Punk on air.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost sounding like things have, water under the bridge.
Yeah, I think Punk has had his break. He's coming back.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Sounds like he's coming back.
Yeah. Okay, so, reiterate other promos and stuff like that. We have Wyatt to the Future. I'll do another episode this week. I'm not sure when.
Whenever we have time. Yeah. Schedule is important.
Yeah.
Interesting news for me. They finally came out with the prices for D&D, for the new D&D editions.
Ooh, what are they? I want to know.
For each one is coming out symmetrically from entire they're starting out with a starter set, like they did back in the old days, like the red box and stuff like that. That's about $20 for that.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Now for the player's handbook.
Okay, here we go.
Player's handbook alone, $49.95.
Yeah, that's how much was it last time? Yeah.
Okay.
And then the others?
And then, like, a month after that, the Monster Manual is going to come out. And then after that, the DM...
Really?
The Dungeon Master Guide is going to come out.
Really? They're gonna...
They're doing this old school. They're doing it like first edition.
Huh.
They're splitting up the segments, so most likely they're doing this because they know that asking people, hey, pay for the Dungeon Master's Guide, the Monster Manual, and the Player's Guidebook, all $150 of it, right now, is probably a stupid sell.
I don't know.
So,
if it comes in a nice box, I would do it.
It's probably not going to, and this is just initial release. It's first printing, obviously. Price will probably go down after a while once other books come out.
Do you have a date?
Yes, date is for the player's handbook. It's going to be in August 19th.
Okay.
So, as they said, summer, which I predicted it was going to be in August, because whenever you hear summer, it's most likely going to be August.
Okay, cool.
So for you D&D players out there who is interested in wrestling as well, yes, all 5 of you, Poochie's included in that, obviously. Yeah, interesting information right there. I have not heard if they're doing a PDF form of it yet. I hope that they do PDF because I don't have any room for hardcover books.
Somebody's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish they get the PDF out there as well. That's probably gonna come in around like $35, which seems fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the interesting news for the week. D&D official prices have been listed. Start saving your money.
Yeah. Okay. Got wrestling stuff next week.
Mm-hmm.
One more Raw until the pay-per-view.
Till the pay-per-view. A little bit live presentation from us with the video game playing, as Scott Steiner would say.
Yeah. Okay, and then we'll catch you next week, if not sooner, on the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast, SFW.
Trademarked.